Okay, while we're doing this thing where I'm in a car pointing my phone at my face, stuck in traffic, so I wanted to do a follow-up on my thing about caffeine. So I gave it up for Lent, because, religion, right? Like, I have a blog post about it. It's a thing that I did. Still do. That's what the blog post is about. Anyway, yeah, so, gave it up for Lent, but I'm not very good at giving things up, and it's also a huge performance enhancer. So whenever I had a job interview, audition, or just really felt like it, I would still have coffee. And what that did is it really isolated the effects of coffee for me, because I wouldn't have it for a long time. My body would stop being used to it, and then I'd try it out and it'd be like, oh wow, this is what caffeine is. Okay. In fact, if there's anything in your life that you're not sure about how you feel about its presence in your life, I realize I'm redundancing myself here. I'm circling my sentences. If there's anything in your life like caffeine, booze, pornography, McDonald's, French women, whatever, anything in your life that you're like, I keep doing this, what's its effect? Is this good? Is this a good thing for my life? Give it up for a short period of time, but where you do it intermittently, like once a week or something, and you will learn so much about it and yourself, like Ramadan or Lent, when you give something up, so that when you do it, you can like eating and drinking for Ramadan, you can really isolate what that is to you, what it feels like to not do it. I think it's a great experience. I've been trying to not show the fact that I'm shirtless, but I'm already filming myself on a highway, which is dangerous, so whatever. Yeah, so caffeine, huge performance enhancer, but your body gets used to it really quickly. Like, you have a coffee a day for a couple days, boom, suddenly you're spending all of your disposable income at Starbucks every morning on their blonde roast. Okay, time for a hashtag life tip, the Starbucks blonde roast. So I was talking to an ex-Starbucks barista this one time, which is like an ex-CIA agent, except barista, so like no actual powers or much relevance to society. I mean, most people can serve coffee, but they take themselves super seriously. Anyway, oh man, funny story about that. One time I went to a Starbucks, and the guy behind the counter was this like teenager who was basically a young Jack Black. And I walked up, I was with a lady, and she was like, oh, I'd like a large grande Americano, she used all the fancy Italian words or whatever. And he's like, yeah, grande Italiano, yeah, we or Americano, whatever coffee, yeah, all right. And I was like, hey, so I'd like something with, coffee in it and chocolate. And his eyes widened, and he stared at me and said, we have that. It's called a mocha, and it contains coffee and chocolate. And I was like, okay, Prozac man, I'll take one. And he was like, yeah, I'll ring you in, yeah. Clearly loved his job. Honestly, he made Starbucks a happy place for me for a while, because I was like, wow, if a young Jack Black can like his job here, then boom, they're doing something right. Anyway, the ex-barista was telling me, people. I was like, do you have any like insider coffee information for me? And she was like, yeah, a lot of people think the dark roast will have more caffeine because it's darker. Well, here's the thing, it's darker because the beans are more cooked, and when you roast the beans more, yes, they have more flavor. Yes, the coffee comes out nice and dark and rich, but the caffeine is more processed and there's less of it. And she told me, if you really want to caffeinate, try a blonde roast. So I did that, and holy shite! I didn't sleep that night. What a night, though. Oh man, the Starbucks blonde roast. I hate to put in a plug for a giant company that overcharges people. I already work for one. But, yeah, the Starbucks blonde roast, it'll pick you up, it'll kick you in the shins in all the right ways. Anyway, so caffeine, body gets used to it very quickly, huge performance enhancer, it should almost be banned from job interviews because of how much it can change your performance. My one thing with it that I love the most, though, okay, let me rephrase that, probably my favorite thing about it is that it can even help you make bad decisions. For example, I have missed exits before on the highway because my caffeine-driven brain will be bursting with so much creative energy that I'll be like, yeah, I should film myself, and then I'll miss an exit, or use up all the battery on my phone when I actually have to make a call. So, I think a lot of inebriants, like alcohol, one of the things people like is that it allows them to say things they wouldn't usually say while sober, or do things they wouldn't usually do, really follow their id. And I find that coffee almost does the reverse, where sometimes you're just trying to labor at such a high efficiency that you will say things to people that you shouldn't say, not because you're following your id, but because your caffeine-driven brain is like, what's going to be the most effective thing to say in this situation? Yeah, that. Is it tactful? No. Cost-benefit. Benefit outweighs the cost. That looks terrible on you. Boom. Anyway, so caffeine, wonderful drug, but best usage intermittently for delicate and deliberate application for the ultimate benefit to one's life. Yeah. I'm gonna go have a coffee. Mikey out.